Hi, my name is Elisa Nichols. I am camp director this year for Camp Invention here at GC Burkhead. I have been doing Camp Invention for about 13 years now. Even during COVID, we were able to do Camp Invention online, but I can honestly say it's great to be back with the kiddos. They're enjoying interacting with each other. So we've had a really good time at camp this year. They are rotating amongst the different classrooms. One of them that they're attending is called the Attic. They're learning about different inventors and the different things that they created and how we can take those inventions and build on them. The students this week, or campers I should say, have made their own tennis shoes, their own shoes, and talked about the importance of it. We talked about the inventor of Nike and how that came about. They have also learned about Disney and the things that came about because of the movies Disney and all of that. But Camp Invention basically is allowing the kids to interact with each other, to learn, not realizing they're learning, very hands-on. They're learning real world things that they can apply. They're creating, they're inventing, and then what do you do with that once you've created it and once you've invented it? What are the next steps? They're learning marketing, they're learning how to patent their items, they're learning all of those things, but at the end of the day, they don't necessarily realize that. They just know that they're having a good time.
This pigment was a favorite of Vincent van Gogh. He was a famous artist. Emerald green. Now remember, Van Gogh was the artist behind the very famous painting Starry Night. Yeah. All right, guys, so we are at our 8-minute mark. This is your chance to take your hardening clay and go ahead and make it into whatever sculpture, design, item you want. Come up with your own design. So before you do that, go ahead and look at the bottom of your shoes. Look maybe at your neighbor's shoes, more than likely every single shoe in this room is probably different. They're probably not all exactly the same.
There you go.
I don't know about Crocs. So you've got on Crocs.
Me too.
Are your all's design, hold it up, are your all's designs exactly the same?
I got Nikes.
They're pretty similar, yeah.
I had Totos.
Yeah. Okay, so if you look, you have a Hall of Famer here. Oh yeah, so those are very similar. Those are pretty cool too. All right, so you have a Hall of Famer here, and he invented the shoe lasting machine. His invention made the process of connecting the sole of the shoe, that's going to be this part down here, so he made the process of connecting the sole with the upper part, okay? His name is Jan Ernest Matzingler, and he was the one that made this machine to help do it a little bit faster. So if you look down there, it says before his invention, skilled shoemakers could make about 50 pairs of shoes a day. His invention allowed that to increase to 700 pairs of shoes a day. And obviously we have much higher quality inventions nowadays that can probably go even more than that, okay? So you're going to be designing your own shoe. Well, the shoe, first we're going to start off with the sole, and after you have made your design on your sole of your shoe, you're going to do an imprint. So your imprint's going to look something similar to this. And then once your imprint is done, you'll be able to create the top part of your shoe. Okay, you can go into as much detail as you would like. You can keep it flat. Some of our kiddos earlier in the day have just kept a flat shoe and they just designed what it would look like. A few have tried to build up a 3D product, okay? And if you want to get a couple of ideas in a minute, you're welcome to walk through next door. My first two groups this morning, their shoes are still over there. I kind of went the easier route. I made mine into a flip-flop, although I like to wear flip-flops. So for mine, I just put a little hole. I probably could almost wear that, couldn't it? It's about my size, right? So I just put a couple of little holes here. Actually, I did it backwards, but. And then I put a little crease on the side, a little crease on this side, and made my flip-flop. Now, I did not take the time yesterday when I was making this to design anything on here, but you could still do that. So this becomes the sole. This becomes the bottom part of your shoe, and then you'll be able to design up here. Okay? And you can, like I said, you can go as simple or as abstract and creative as you would like.
My name is Catherine Caswell. This week in Camp Invention at GC Burkhead, I worked with the students in the unit Marble Arcade. The students learned about different simple machines. They talked about momentum, different kinds of energy, friction, and they made their own Marble Arcade, which is it incorporated pulleys and they had tracks that were ramps. They tried out their ideas, and if it was successful, they could add to it. If it wasn't successful, they just stopped, talked about it with a friend, or thought some more, and then they redid it. And We just had first and second graders in here today, and all of their arcades were successful. The marbles ran through it, and they're very inventive, and I was very excited for what they had created this week.
Hi, I'm Madison Kisleball. This is my second year with Camp Invention. This year I was the teacher for Robotic Aquatics. This year the students in this station, they got to build their own habitats for jellyfish and learn about marine life and different equipment that scientists use to study the ocean and other animals. Then yesterday, after they got to take home their fish tanks and test out their electronic fish that they received, they also created another invention that today they are learning about a sales pitch, and they are trying to sell their invention to different markets. So some of them were making different equipment that could be used for scientists in studying marine life, and some students made inventions that could be used to just help somebody who maybe owns a fish tank or aquarium at their home. So I really hope that they just had a good time this week and had lots of fun and learned something about the ocean and marine life in the process. In nature, when marine creatures form a unique relationship, we call it symbiosis. It's this big word up here. Symbiosis. Yep. We see this with the clownfish living closely together with anemones. I'm going to say that word wrong, so yeah. While many other fish would be stung by this habitat, clownfish have a special mucus, little slimy stuff, on their body that protects them and allows them to hide within the anemone's tentacles.
I knew that.
In addition, some juvenile, which also means young fish, they're able to hide under the belly of a jellyfish. So if we were to grab a real jellyfish, this is obviously a fake jellyfish, and if we were to touch the tentacles, it would hurt, right? It's going to shock you. It's going to sting you. But some fish are special, and they can swim up underneath a jellyfish and go up under their little, I call it the umbrella part of the jellyfish. I don't really know what it's called, but the umbrella part of the jellyfish, and stay protected under there because predators, if they come to the jellyfish, they're going to get stung, right? So they're safe. They can't get stung. We'll get to decorate the tank and make it all pretty and make it look like an aquarium.
This is a sucker.
Okay, so you're calling it the sucker. What's it do?
It just sucks up the dirtiness in the tank.
Okay, so this is for someone who might have a fish tank at home, right? Okay. Why did you put beads in it? What are those supposed to do?
Those are supposed to be the stuff to clean up.
Like the sample dirt? Like pretending that you sucked it up? Okay. All right. Cool. And what are you calling it, the sucker?
Mhm.
All right. Cool. All right.
If I shoot the straw this way, food comes out of the straw.
What's it called again?
The fish feeder.
The fish feeder. Okay.
And there's see that that coffee wrapper. I'm pretending that's food.
Okay, we're pretending that's the food for the example. And it blows food into the fish tank?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
This also feeds fish.
What are you calling it?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? Okay, we're still thinking of a name for her feeder.
And
Hold it up so everybody can see it. All right, tell us what materials you used.
I use tin foil,
Okay.
and I use clay and beads as like the fish food.
Okay.
And then I hold the pig after I use this.
Okay, so you just put the fish feeder down in the tank and the food comes out for the fish to eat. Okay, that's cool. What's it called?
Where is it going to clean the fish tank?
A what? A cleaner?
To clean the fish tank.
Okay, so he made a cleaner to clean a fish tank. What'd you use on it? What do these do? That's what sucks the dirt in? Okay, where's the dirt go? In the cup? Okay. Does it just float around in your aquarium? You don't want to be up here anymore? Okay, you can go sit down. Okay, we're still thinking of a name for hers.
This one, I designed its tail to be like an underwater mop to like clean the tank, and then it also feeds. And I use foil clay, these plastic cups, and
Muffin cup.
muffin.
So it feeds the fish and cleans the tank. Wow. That's a good job.
Hello, my name is Tracy Putharancy, and I'm a part of Camp Intervention at GC Burkhead. My room did a space vacation where they went to the moon and they went to Jupiter, and we did many different activities while there. We found animal creatures, we monitored them for growth. We made space packs in which we put everything we needed in there, like oxygen tanks and water tanks, and we got to decorate it the way we wanted. We also made astro arms, which was a favorite for the kids, and they used those for the rest of the week in picking up different materials while in space, such as they had a game where they had to pick up food and hydrogen and oxygen molecules to make gas to return home. We also made an ice volcano in which we poured this blue liquid on the snow and it made it blow up and snow just fell everywhere. It was a kid's favorite. And then they packed today and went home from the moon to Earth. And that's what we did on our vacation.
We will have Camp Invention here again next year at GC Burkhead, so if you have any questions, just reach out to me, elisa.nichols@hardin.kyschools.us.